Together, they provide trauma debriefing, support first responders, assist at incident scenes, and help communities through START, a program offering 3 certified CPR training to empower everyday people. All of this done voluntarily on top of their full-time jobs. How are you?
Good, good.
Very good. Thank you yourself.
Likewise. Okay, my opening question to you, David, is as the president of the Emergency Services Chaplaincy, what have been the biggest challenges and priorities you faced in supporting first responders emotionally and spiritually?
Hi, yes, thank you for the question and the opportunity to get to speak to you and your viewers also. Just one misconception we need to address first is
Mhm.
yes, we've got 3 active chaplains working in the emergency service field in the
Okay.
urban metro area. But
Mhm.
that's not the only chaplains we've got in KwaZulu-Natal. We've got quite a few there. We are serving a variety of services, including hospitals, police, metros, institutions, security companies, also in churches and old age homes. And so it's not only the emergency services for turnouts. There are 3 of them in the Durban area, but that's not also the entire KwaZulu-Natal. There's quite a few of them. We've trained over 800 chaplains in South Africa, of which about 200 is currently active in dealing with emergency cases in the variety of different emergency services that are available, which includes the emergency services, ambulance, and then the fire services, of which the 3 are that you are referring to in the Durban area. The greatest challenges these days for us as chaplains would obviously be the fact that we are a volunteer organization, and that means that most of our chaplains also have an additional jobs. Thus, they are only available in their free times to deliver their services. We doing this for the Lord and out of the love of the Lord and for the people, and thus we are giving our free time. That means that we are sometimes limited in when and how we can attend to services. We are also a professional body. We are currently making sure that we give sufficient training to all of our chaplains to go out and make an effective change. We cannot send people out that's maybe only had a 3 or 4 day course in how to deal with trauma, to deal with the variety of trauma that is out there. Thus, as a professional body, we currently offer a 20 module course, 22 modules, I think, currently. And this takes close to a year or even sometimes longer to complete for some of the chaplains, to ensure that when we send people out to go and assist, they are adequately trained to do this, and they are then also um, qualified to do this. We are working with professional organizations like, for example, Health Profession Council, disaster management, and the police, etc., also hospitals and so on, that's got legislation and requirements on how to deal with all of these challenges. And we need to make sure that when we send a chaplain out to do the work, that they are equipped to do it, that they are trained to do it, and that they will be able to make a difference out there in the world for the Lord, as that is our calling. We don't only serve Christians, we serve anybody. Although we are a Christian organization, it's very important for us that we send and give the love of the Lord to everybody that we encounter, and that we do, in fact, make a difference. Get them in touch with the religious leaders if they are not from a Christian background, and so also assist them, but without compromise to our Christian faith. I hope that answers your question.
Sure. All right. My question to you now, Renell, is you are one of only 3 active chaplains in KZN. How does that limited number affect your workload and the type of incidents respond to most? Sorry about that. Oh, to most number affect your workload and the type of incidents you respond to most often.
So yes, in my group we are 3, and we are trying to be efficient. We are here to bring support and to bring a helping hand to the people in need on the worst days of their lives sometimes. And I believe that we are doing what we can and we are making a difference. We are making progress and yeah, we are trying to be as efficient as we can here in KZN.
Right. Reverend David, I have a question for you on the comments. Do you mind if I actually ask it to you?
Huh?
Sure. All right. This is from Reshchitan. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Reverend David, for saving lives. How does the volunteers react when it's a fatal incident leading to death?
As I've said previously, we are trained to deal with this, and we make sure that our volunteers are also trained to do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
We deal with this in a very extensive way, especially death, understanding death, dealing with death, to make sure that when we send out people, that they are equipped of dealing with this. Obviously, this is a bigger part of, especially that when we react or go out to scenes where there was accidents, fatal accidents, doing death notifications, and it does have an effect on our staff also, chaplain. For that reason, we are also there to assist them, guide them, and be there for them, provide them with spiritual support and backup, and help them if they are struggling with that. I hope that answers your question.
Sure. All right. My question for you, David, is trauma can accumulate silently for many responders. What strategies does the chaplaincy use to identify when someone needs help, even when they don't ask for it?
It is important for every chaplain to be involved with the service and get to know their staff and personnel. If you, for example, let's say, for example, a chaplain has a calling to go and work with emergency services like the fire brigade, for them to get to know their staff. Firstly, we cannot go there and enforce ourselves on them and say you have to use us and we here and we're coming into your place and we're now taking over here and you will report to us and talk to us. That's not how the law works. The law will clearly state that we need to be there on invitation. So if they get to know us and we are invited to be part of their structures and assist them, the big thing is to get to know you. If they know you and they trust you, then they will be willing to speak to you as soon as they've got challenges also. And for that reason, knowing them is important. Building relationships is important. And then also, if they know you and they've got your number and they know you and they've got a challenge, they will be willing to speak to you. For that reason, that is one of the biggest building blocks we need to work on, building relationships, being there and truly and honestly caring for people, because we know when people are fake or when they are real, when they really care about you and they are there for you, or if they are not. So yes, the relationships is the most important part.
Renal, what motivated you to become a chaplain and first responder, and how has the experience shaped you personally?
What motivated me?
Mhm.
I have a passion for people. So to be able to come back home and to know that I've made life a little bit easier for someone out there is it gives me purpose in life. So I think there's a passion and purpose, and then I can honestly say that I'm privileged to be able to live out my calling in doing what I'm doing. So I think that's my answer is it's a passion, a privilege, and there's a purpose in life for me then.
Wow. All right. Reverend David, how do you balance the demands of emergency chaplaincy with the personal well-being of your chaplains who are often exposed to emotionally heavy situations?
Yes, to answer that, as we deal with this extensively also in our training, we are available also there for our people. We offer face-to-face meetings with them, counseling sessions, as well as for those that's not available on Zoom and on video calls, etc. We make ourselves available to guide and assist our people. We also have a wide variety of professional people that is assisting us when people needs to be referred to either psychology or psychiatric or professional counseling services, to offer that to them, to make sure that we can all maintain a good level of spiritual care for ourselves as well as our own well-being. The well-being of our staff and of the people we work with are extremely important to us, and for that reason, we prioritize that too in our.
Reno, responding to incidents and accidents in a Madden Toti must be intense. Can you share how you manage emotional decompression after difficult calls?
Come back to what Reverend David just told us. During our training, they taught us
Hmm?
that before you go out on a call or on a scene, you have to be prayed up. You have to pray before you go out. And um, I do that, and that is helping me a lot to be able to cope with what I see and what I experience and um, what I get exposed to. What I also always try and remember is Habakkuk 3, um,
Hmm.
uh, English, though the fig tree does not bud, you know that verse, especially verse 18. I think in English I wrote it down here. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in God my Savior. So I will remind myself to find my peace and my joy in the Lord. And that helps me a lot. And then also, I to cope with some emotional and um, strong emotions that that are left behind after a traumatic incident. I do art journaling. So I write down everything in my head that is bothering me. And then I just, with a very good friend of mine, Anna Ricrovia, I just do art all over it. And that works wonderful for me, for myself. It is really a good way of um, handling and coping with all those unresolved emotions that I had.
All right. My final question to you, David, is from your perspective. Okay, hold on. Okay, from your perspective, what changes do South African emergency service culture and communities need to better support mental resilience?
We believe that a sound, holistic spiritual wellness program is needed in all organizations. Also, for that reason, we train our chaplains in the implementation of such. Obviously, we cannot enforce this on anyone, but we can recommend it to them and then help them establish a program like this in their organization to also help grow and build the spiritual, emotional, and the holistic view of the taking care of their staff and personnel. We are making these services available to them, and in working with the HR, we can make an effective difference in assisting the staff and the emergency services, especially in situations where they are exposed to quite a heavy load of work, especially looking at the KZN area, if there's floods, etc., and there's major death scenes or big crises, the pressure on the staff is tremendous. And taking a holistic approach in dealing with them and their staff, spiritual well-being is incredibly important. And we would like to see this happening more and more organizations opening up towards this.
All right. My final question to you, Renal, is how do you see trauma debriefing impacting emergency workers and civilians in the short and long term?
Yeah, it's something that is neglected, and it's easily neglected, and it's not supposed to be like that. I think
Mm.
debriefing is almost like the first aid of psychology. If you think of first aid, it is to prevent something from getting worse. It is to promote recovery and to preserve life. And this is actually what we are doing in a debriefing session. We are trying to prevent the emotional impact of this traumatic experience to get worse. We are helping to promote the emotional healing by all the feelings and emotions, and then ultimately also to preserve life, because trying to prevent a traumatic experience from having side effects like depression or PTSD is something we need to work on. So yeah, we have to see debriefing as a very important part of going out on scene.
All right. All I got to say that thanks so much for your time, guys, and continue the great work.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Okay.